Brodes Media.
I'm just lost because I'm watching Andy Reid go to the Super Bowl again. I'm watching Pat Mahomes go to the Super Bowl again. And quite frankly, I got no issue with watching them. I don't have the Chiefs fatigue. I love dominance. When Tom Brady was doing his thing, cook, baby. Cook. Keep cooking. Let's go. Let's see 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Super Bowls because that's unreal. The Chiefs stunk all year. The Chiefs did not look the same. Here's Spags defensively helping out, being a difference maker. All right, now Baltimore, you can question Lamar Jackson's decision-making on certain throws. And after the first couple of drives, right, you're like, hey, this is going to be a heavyweight battle. We're going to see touchdowns. This might get the over finished by the first half. And then, well, it kind of died out after that. But it's not as if the Chiefs took over in that second half. The Ravens throwing into triple coverage. It was all over the place with undisciplined and flags and that whole thing. They didn't play smart. They didn't play crisp. They didn't. And the Kansas City Chiefs do it again. Do it again. And now, Andy Reid, one of the best to ever do it, you kicked his ass out of town, and, you know, at the time, it was right. But I think it is fair to question, even though, hey, maybe you get a fresh set of ideas, it ran its course here. If you stayed with it, now I know hindsight and Pat Mahomes and this and that, who knows what would have happened. But imagine if Andy Reid was here for 20-plus years. I promise you, even though there were failures and losing in the big moments and all that stuff in his era here, I think he would have figured that thing out. I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches to ever live. And right now, we're asking our coach to do less. To do less. One of the arguments that was big on the radio this week for me was you have to give Sirianni the opportunity to work through this because of his track record. Here's my counter argument. They're not, though. They're not giving him the opportunity to fix this. They're saying, just go stand there. Giving him the opportunity would double down. Now, I don't want them to double down, but I would respect them more for doubling down. Now, I get that I'm on an island here, all right? I have a buddy who is from Detroit, and I love this man to death, all right? He was one of my junior hockey teammates. He was my goalie. I mean, he's still one of my great friends. I just went through his man. We're super close still, and it's been almost 11 years since we took the ice together. He's a diehard Detroit sports fan, and I know they've been through hell. I get it. They've been through dark, dark times, and this might be a one-off. So the fact that they let this thing slip because of some Dan Campbell decisions, I understand how that can hurt you. I could not bear, though, thinking about what it would be like if I had to deal with him winning a Super Bowl. I know that sounds horrible. I know that sounds like I'm a terrible human being, a horrible friend, and maybe I am. I'm not, but maybe I am. I'm not. From a sports perspective, maybe I am. I needed the 49ers to win that game. Do I like the 49ers? No, of course not. Of course not. But I've already given them their praise. Brock Purdy balled out. Say what you want about, well, there was some drop passes and some fluky stuff and things that were hitting off helmets, and then it was a big reception or, the fumble or the decisions not to kick the field goal, blah, 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 blah. Brock Purdy on big-time plays, down big at half, used his legs, came back. That's an impressive win. That quarterback went out there and made impressive-ass plays. I'm not going to knock him for that. Yeah, guess what? You're supposed to take advantage of poor decision-making by the other team. That's what sports is all about. If you screw up, do you maximize that moment? And they were maximizing that moment. They can go beat the 49ers, and that's the best-case scenario for me. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, I'm not bothered by that at all. Taylor Swift's been at every single damn game. At this point, it's just a love. All right, just love. They love each other. It is what it is. I don't give a damn. Just go beat the Niners. So they made the Super Bowl. They're what we wanted the Eagles to be. And I have to respect that. I have to respect that. They had one goal in mind all regular season long. Get to Philadelphia, destroy them, kick their ass, embarrass them, then go win a Super Bowl. They're doing that. How am I supposed to not respect that? They're doing it with Brock Purdy, by the way, who's answered some serious questions this year. At this rate, I don't doubt the guy. Now, obviously, when I watch him, the eye test isn't Peyton Manning. All right, it's not that. But it doesn't need to be that. They're in the Super Bowl. They're in the Super Bowl. Well, they're in the Super Bowl. They're in the Super Bowl. What do you want me to do? It works. Is Dan Campbell dumb? He's not as dumb as everybody makes it out to be. The fourth down drop by Reynolds, the play was there. The play was there. That keeps it rolling. Actually, when they kicked the field goal right before the half, I wouldn't have mind going for it there. Where you have to kick the field goal was the tying moment. What was it, 40-plus field goal? They went for it. You were down 3. You could have tied the game. That one, I think you got to kick it. The earlier one, it's a Reynolds drop. Dude, you got to catch the football. And I normally do lean on the side of do what got you there. And I remember when the Phillies were in the World Series and they went with Jose Alvarado against the Yordan Alvarez matchup, and you take Zach Wheeler out of the game. And I said, well, this is what you did all year. This is what you did earlier in the series, and we loved it. You looked at that matchup. You highlighted it. If it came in the 5th, so be it. If it came in the 6th, so be it. If it came in the 7th, so be it. We're just going to do what we have to do, whatever the highest leverage moment is. And Rob did that all year, and it got him to the World Series. And I remember standing by that. And, I do think it's different than maybe some of these Dan Campbell decisions because the aggressive mindset is fair. And I really love it, and that clearly made the identity of the Detroit Lions. But in a one-game situation on the road, can you go up 3 scores in the second half? There needs to be a little bit more understanding of time and game and moment and things like that. And I think it got away from Dan Campbell a little bit. I could live with some of his aggressive play calls. It's not as if every single one was automatically gross just because of the lack of execution. Prior to seeing the result, I didn't mind some of it. The last one, you got to tie the football game up. You have to tie the football game up. At least attempt to tie the football game up. You have to there. I think he let the emotions get the best of him in that particular spot. And it's unfortunate because I don't think that the Lions are built for this insane success. And I get it. You can name some great playmakers, and they do have some phenomenal playmakers and all. They were just hot, and they were riding this thing, and it was great. And, does the whole Jared Goff thing change? And now your schedule with your opponents change because of where you fell winning the division. And, I just don't know if I'm ready to commit to the Lions having this sustained level of success. It seemed like a nice, insane little run and push. And, that's kind of how I see it. But I know America despises this matchup. You got the 49ers, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is so terrible. I don't think it's that terrible. You have history on the line with Pat Mahomes again, and the 49ers, I don't hate them as much as everybody else, so it doesn't bother me. I don't like them. I want them to lose. I'm not rooting for them to win, but if they do, I would hope that would piss the Eagles off even more. Even more. You let that happen? It was going to be a combination. One of these teams. Lions, Cowboys, Niners, Eagles. Who's it going to be? And the 49ers won that battle. But they're not an unstoppable force. They're a beatable bunch. And you let them go all the way. Shame on you. I want that to eat everybody alive at the NovaCare complex because you let that happen.